Education instills security in people's lives. And Adria, when I heard about you and your project, Libraries for Africa, I really wanted to have you on the McDonald Show, and I would like to welcome you on the show.
And I appreciate you asking me. This is an honor for me.
Thank you very much. Director of Reader to Reader, Zambia. What is Libraries for Africa?
I know it's wordy. It's a lot of names.
Yes.
The Reader to Reader is part of Children's Literature for Children, which is a nonprofit organization, and libraries have been created all over the world, really. And my concentration has been for Within Care Ministries in Zambia. That's really what I'm supporting right now. And the Libraries for Africa, that was really a Facebook group that I started. And I'm new at this Facebook thing, but that seems to be the way. That seems to be the way.
Everybody's
like,
excited, I think.
If I get people interested in this project, fine, then I'll do it.
What is your mission for this project, Libraries for Africa?
The mission is that I feel that, we take so many things for granted in America. I mean, we could spend this whole show talking about what we take for granted. But one thing we do take for granted is reading, being able to have access to reading materials, and for children to have access to books in the classroom, for them to have access to literature, to be able to take a book home and just enjoy it. And it has been one of my greatest pleasures in my life, and these children do not have that pleasure.
You're talking about Libraries for Africa. What kind of books do you work with? Do you send to Zambia or Africa? Is there an age group?
Right now, we're focused on levels K through 8, kindergarten through 8th. English is not a primary language for these children, so we don't want them, too advanced. But right now, pretty much elementary, late primary, elementary, and middle school.
How many projects have you done so far? How many shipments have you done to Zambia?
Well, because of lack of funding, we've not been able to actually ship books yet, so we've been sending the books on mission trips. And there have been 3 mission trips this summer, and we're at about, I would say, 500 or 600 books right now over there, and we're still going strong. We've got a mission trip coming up, and I'm hoping to get a minimum of 200 books, maybe 300 on this next trip.
And for these books, do you get only new ones, or do you get used ones as well? The ones you're sending to Africa?
Gently used, new and gently used. Actually, I have several people that so wanted to contribute books, donate books, and they didn't have any. They've cleaned out their households, there are no books, and they've actually gone out and bought books specifically to send for these children. And I'm so grateful. But a lot of our books are gently used books. They're in great shape, and what we do is we cover the books. Even new, used, doesn't matter. All of our books are covered. We take contact paper and we do book covers, much like we did when we were kids, when we were at school and the teacher said, cover your book. But we also reinforce the inside spine. So we put a library card in there and a logo, and these books are ready to go onto a shelf in a library and hopefully protected so they'll last.
There are several books one can send to Zambia. Of course, some of the people who would like to contribute to your project, what kind of books do they need to send to you if they were to give you to put in an effort of bringing some books for you to ship to Zambia? Because I know I can pick up any book and bring it to you, and then it might not make sense.
Sure. Certainly, we take nonfiction. I am supporting a faith-based organization, so therefore, faith-based books. These children love their Bibles and Bible stories, and some nonfiction about geography and science, literature, stories are wonderful. What we don't want are books, for instance, a book about Christmas is fine, about the story of the baby Jesus and all of that. What we don't want, of course, is about Santa Claus and things like that. These children don't experience that. They don't have Santa. And so those kind of Americanized things, we kind of stay away from that. A story of Easter would be wonderful. The story of the Easter Bunny, maybe not. So, but I like to get kind of a mixture of books. I do keep up with every book that's going so that I know what they have. And if they have a lot of nonfiction, I want to make sure they're having some stories as well. Kind of a good mix for these children. They had no books in the 2 schools I'm supporting right now. No books whatsoever.
What are those schools that are benefiting from this project in Zambia?
And right now it's part of WIFIN Care Ministries. WIFIN stands for Widows and Orphans.
Okay.
Supporting the widows and orphans. And the two schools are located in Ndola. And I've also, I've got plans in the future, but for right now, just kind of concentrating on WIFIN. And it's just such a wonderful organization, and it just warms my heart. And I've seen pictures of the children. Actually, I got my first picture of the children sitting in the classroom, and they were all holding up a book that they had received on the first shipment, and or the first delivery. And it was just, I can't put into words. There's no way I could put into words what it was like to see the books that we prepared here for distribution, ending up literally in their classroom, and they were all holding up their books with such pride and joy.
There could be many people like you with a passion to help others. If there are some people there who would like to make some kind of donations to your project, or they would like to sponsor a child, is there a website they can go to?
Oh, most definitely. www.wifin.org. WIFIN is WIPHAN.org. And there are all kinds of ways to support WIFIN Care Ministries. There are many, many ways. If somebody wanted to support this book project, they can donate money to WIFIN. And then in the memo line, there's a memo line if you do an online donation. Okay. And you can say Libraries for Africa. And then the money would go specifically to this project. And what it would buy would be, there's just so many library materials that we're buying to be able to, reinforce these books and get them ready to send.
CLC, that is what? Children Literatures for, how do you affiliate with them?
Children's Literature for Children is a nonprofit organization, and I just had met some of the folks involved with CLC, and they heard about what I wanted to do. And I'm like, it seemed so overwhelming. I've never done anything like this before. I've got a full-time job. This was just something I wanted to do on the side. But I'm like, how in the world somebody like me get books over there? How do you do that? And it turns out the folks that I knew at CLC, Children's Literature for Children, had been doing this for years and creating libraries in other countries and several in Africa. And so they got me involved with them, and they gave me my title, Director, Reader to Reader, Zambia. There hadn't been a Zambian presence in this organization, so they were excited to have that Zambian connection. I was just excited to have the help, because it did seem like a task that, am I getting in over my head? I don't know. But it was exciting, and I've met wonderful people, and we have these all-day events at my house on Saturdays to prepare the books. They're volunteer days, and it's kind of like an old-fashioned quilting guild or something, because we come and we celebrate as we are covering these books and preparing them. It's like a celebration, and the folks are so excited. And
so this is what the other ladies are doing in the other room, right? We can we can go there and see what really
absolutely.
You're doing, preparing these books. It's really a privilege to have you on this show. I think let's take a look and see what happens whenever you're preparing these books.
Sure, and I'll show you some of the books that are waiting to be prepared and ready to go.
When any volunteers want to do the work for you, can they easily just come here? I've seen you on Facebook, of course. You've been advertising. Anywhere else, you try to capture their attention?
I just really, as soon as I know of someone who's interested, I just get in contact with them, and then I just put them kind of in my database, so that when we're going to have an all-day event or anything that's going on, I can get the word out. That's the important thing, is just to make sure that anybody who wants to be involved. I've got folks coming to my house I never knew. WIFIN has a newsletter that they send out, and they talk about the libraries. People will read that the library notice in that newsletter. And they get on board. It's just been exciting. I've met just wonderful people through this project, and this project has been blessed. It has been blessed.
I'm too delighted to have you on the McDonald Show.
Thank you for asking.
Let's see how you guys do it.
Okay, let's do it.